Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance that was released back in the year of 2011-2012. The fragrance is from the house of Lacoste. The fragrance we're talking about is called Eau de Lacoste L.12.12 Rouge or Red. Now this fragrance is from a series that I had been meaning to dive into, but I'd only just kind of got into recently. This is the main reason I kind of wanted to go about this series was I noticed that on a lot of sites these were priced pretty inexpensively. The price range roughly between the 30 milliliter and the 100 milliliter is roughly going to be around $15 to anywhere of like $40 on the higher end. So it was a fragrance and still is a fragrance that is a little bit less on the expensive side. Plus the fact that I saw that one of the main notes in this fragrance was supposedly mango. So those reasons combined, I thought that it was going to be a different scent and something that I would kind of enjoy, but let's see if that's actually true. Now the main notes of this fragrance are listed on screen. What you get when you spray this fragrance on and when you put it on is the mango note I find a little bit hard to actually pinpoint and ascertain. But the biggest one that I actually do get is a very pleasant tea note. Now the tea note is really prominent and really comes out with the fragrance and is kind of like its main thing. Along the way you can also get like a little bit of a spiciness that comes along with it. And as the fragrance begins to develop, that spiciness kind of takes over. It has a cardamom note in it, but that cardamom note does not produce kind of that body odor scent that usually accompanies a lot of notes that have this particular spice in it. So that was very pleasant. Very pleasant on that part, and it kept going in this very pleasant manner, the tea note and the cardamom, but eventually that spicy note and the woods underneath begin to take over the fragrance. The tea note kind of goes into the background, the little citruses that are there kind of go into the background, and then it becomes just a very generic smelling but good smelling fragrance along with it. Now, admittedly, I was a little disappointed just because the mango wasn't as prominent. Mango is probably my favorite fruit that's out there. And so the fact that a fragrance was smelling like mango is something that I was really keen on. But unfortunately, no, it just didn't do it for me on that. But the tea note, again, was a very pleasant surprise that I really did enjoy. So kudos on that note. Now, this is a good fragrance that I think you can wear almost all year round. It is definitely one that is pleasant smelling to all those around you. And what I would almost dub a compliment getter, but it's not quite. There's just something. It kind of dances the line between being a unique smelling scent and a scent that a lot of people have smelled at the same time. Like when it starts off, I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good, unique smelling scent. But as the fragrance kind of goes along, it's like, all right, I've kind of done this before and it's already been done. Now, for people that are looking for, a pleasant smelling scent, something that they can wear to work, something that they can wear to school, Lacoste Red or Eau de Lacoste Red is something that you definitely want to look at. Take a look at it. It might suit your needs. This is a good fragrance, like I mentioned, for year round. I go about 3-4 sprays with this fragrance, although you can go a little bit heavier. It hasn't really produced any, I guess you could say, headache-inducing moments or anything like that. So just keep that in mind with the sprays, but you might experience a little bit different. So as always, spray with caution. Now, compliment-wise, I mentioned, I think this is a compliment getter. Maybe not on the far side, but where it's lacking is its originality. The beginning is original, but it turns into a fragrance that is not as original as it stays on your skin. So unfortunately, not that. And as far as age group goes, I think any age group can pull this one off, but I think it's more suited for younger gentlemen and younger people in general. So if I'm gonna go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating 2.5 out of 5 stars. Now, there's one major reason why I'm giving it 2.5. I'm not saying that it's a bad fragrance. What I am saying is that for what you're buying, you can find many fragrances that kind of fit the bill or do what it does a little bit better if you just pay just a little bit extra. And there are even some inexpensive fragrances that'll do the same thing for it. The biggest knocks that I have on this fragrance are it's not the most original, and the fact that you can kind of get what this fragrance does with other fragrances. Now, that doesn't mean that if somebody comes along and says, man, I think this is a 4 out of 5, I'd be perfectly that fine. Or if they said 4.5 out of 5 stars, I'd be like, all right, that's what, you know, that's good for you and that's great. And I've got no qualm with it. So I just think as many fragrances that as I've smelled at this point, this doesn't really stand out, though I recognize it for what it is. It still is a very pleasant smelling fragrance and you can't go wrong. So if you're looking for something that's inexpensive, if you're looking for something that kind of has a tea vibe to it, that has a unique kind of citrusy thing going for it, go for this fragrance, check it out. It's well worth the fact that it's, priced as it's such and priced inexpensively. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on Eau de Lacoste Red, and I'm always curious. Leave your notes down below so people can go ahead and come to an opinion themselves. All right, thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.